Welcome to Digital Factory Decoded, Digital Applications episode by DigiXLT.
Before starting the podcast, can you please share the objective of Digital Factory Decode?
So, a lot of manufacturers basically were asking questions about digitalization, why it is important, what kind of solutions we should have, what should be the approach, and what will be the ROI. So many of these questions we felt it keeps on coming, and maybe many of the manufacturers will have it. So to bring clarity to all of these things, we thought of bringing up a podcast, Digital Factory Decode, and today we are here to take up a next topic about digital applications, and we will try to bring some level of clarity on what the different software applications are there that can help the manufacturers.
Today we'll talk about understanding digital application. So my first question is, what are the first few digital use cases manufacturers should prioritize?
So from the sequence point of view, or if a manufacturer is looking to have a use of digital in the plant, then I will suggest first thing to look at should always be an ERP, because ERP really brings a level of a maturity in an organization to smoothly run the processes. So everyone should start with that. Then on the specific use cases where we should look at bringing the technology is should be to first thing is the inventory should be able to manage properly, and I think that happens through the ERP. Then the next step it should happen is the monitoring of the production quality and the maintenance related activities, which happens really at a shop floor. And while ERP helps at a high level, but I think we need some specific solutions to do the monitoring, and this is where my suggestion is for the manufacturers is to start with ERP and the basic level of a monitoring, production planning and monitoring at the shop floor.
Thus, having ERP means digitalization is done?
So ERP is only a partial. As I said earlier, ERP is basically all about bringing a structure in the organization. Organizations use the ERP to manage the different day-to-day activities in a different departments that are done, and it really smoothens or brings clarity on what is happening, and there is some level of a streamlining that happens, but then it is not the complete digitalization. For a effective digitalization, we really should also be thinking about the optimizing or improving. We need to think beyond the just running or managing the organization, and for an improvement point of view, we need to look at the specific solutions which are there department specific. So for example, in a sales department we have a CRM solutions. For the manufacturing department we have an MES or a manufacturing execution system. Then for an inventory optimization there are specific solutions are there. For logistics there are logistics management solution, warehouse management solution. For the HR there is an HRMS, correct? So and even for managing the quality there are QMS system, there are certain for a lab there are LIMS system. So there are different systems at a department level are there which can bring in the improvement. So but the one thing is all of these systems needs to be taken based on what level of challenges that the company has, what level of a complexity company has, and accordingly these specific systems needs to be taken.
What is MES and is it relevant for SMEs?
Yeah, so it's a great question and a great topic, especially for the SMEs, because SMEs are not used to MES. So let me first bring a clarity about what MES is. It is Manufacturing Execution System, and this system or a platform is basically works at a shop floor level. So in ERP, the level of a data that goes is always at a very higher level. So for example, if we talk about a certain work order that needs to be planned, then it will only have an information, say what work order to be executed, how much of a production to be done, and how much of a material will get used. But this doesn't cover the planning at a shop floor level, where at an individual machine. So for example, if there is a work order that gets executed using the 10 operations, and there are 10 machines basically assigned to it, then what will get manufactured at each of those 10 machines, how much of a production will happen at an individual machine, who are the workers who will be working, so the resource allocation, the raw material allocation, what is the level of operating parameters that will be there. So these are all the information that doesn't get into the ERP, and to manage all of this, basically the production planning at an individual machine level, resource allocation, and then the tracking of the production at an individual machine level, we need a system which is essentially is the MES. So all the large global organizations today are using MES to basically bring out optimization in their shop floor, and these systems are very much proven. And but the only thing is, the mid-size manufacturers or SMEs doesn't have clarity about what are these systems, how they are different from the ERP, and then do we really need to invest in these systems also after investing in ERPs, correct? So the perception is investing in ERP is enough, and I think that is beyond that we don't need. Some manufacturers have also said that in our ERP we have a manufacturing module which takes care of the monitoring the production operations, but then we should look at to what level the monitoring is done in an ERP, because ERP will never do the monitoring at an individual machine level, or in fact if you really have to calculate the cost or an efficiency at each machine, ERP will not tell you. So which is where we will need MES. So I hope this brings clarity about to some level how ERP and MES is different, why do we really need MES, and the kind of an benefit it provides.
How can digital systems help reduce quality defects?
So if we talk about the use of the digital technologies to improve the quality, first thing is the digitalizing or automating the quality inspection process. In a manufacturing plant, there are different places the quality inspection is happening. Either it could be the work in process, basically intermediary steps where the quality inspection happens, or it could be after the final product is made, then the quality inspection happens. And that's where it becomes difficult for the quality inspector, because think of the amount of products that inspector is watching. It could become very difficult, and because you really need a very high level of a focus all through the day, and there are chances that the defects may pass out because of the if there is any amount of loss in the concentration, and which is why the digital systems helps. So these digital systems are the computer vision based applications which has an AI system at a back end. There is a camera which takes a picture under a specific lighting. The picture basically gets analyzed by the AI algorithm, and it decides whether the product has a defect or doesn't have a defect, and based on that the decision is passed on. So that's where we can ensure that the quality inspection process overall improves. We are not missing out any defects. The camera will not get tired. Camera will do with the same level of an accuracy always. And with the technology advancement we are seeing in a camera, even a very smaller level of a defects can also be detected. And that's where I think overall accuracy improves. Now, these kind of quality inspection systems can also be used for a different applications, like we need to do some level of an measurement in a product, so which say generally happens through either a vernier caliper or other ways. And I think this also can be automated from an improvement point of view. So that's the one area where digital can positively bring the benefits to the overall quality management. Second thing is digitalizing the quality management process itself. So like if a plant has a lab, then there are a lot of quality tests gets done. Now to make the plan of those quality inspection, to do the inspection and then record all the data for individual testing that was done, and then able to reproduce it when it is needed. I think there are workflow based system is needed. So digital quality management systems are available, which basically can make the whole job of planning and doing the quality inspection basically simpler. So that's the other thing I think the system helps. And why it also brings the benefit, it is that because we are able to relate the quality defects with the different parameters that gets acquired while doing the production. So for example, there are certain process parameters. If they can also be monitored and then correlated with the results that we have seen in the quality, then we can get to know what kind of a changes we should make in those process parameters, which will bring us a better quality, correct? So that's also the way to basically improve quality through the use of a technology.
What kinds of systems are there to help machine and equipment breakdowns?
What we need is basically the digitalizing the complete maintenance operations. And for that, first system basically is the digital maintenance management system. Using this, we can completely digitalize the maintenance planning part of it, and then scheduling it to the different operators who will do the maintenance for the individual machines. So using these systems, we can track whether all the machines are getting proper attention based on the SOP, the right level of preventive maintenance schedules are done, and when the operator does the maintenance, they can document how much time it took, what is the if any tools basically were changed, any parts were changed, what was the cost, correct? So there are many things that gets recorded in a paper. So all of that information can get digitalized. That will help us in assessing where all the maintenance activities are happening as per schedule, as per protocols or not, and then how much of a breakdowns which are happening, correct? So that's the one thing. Second thing where the breakdowns can be reduced is basically using some of the condition monitoring systems. So this is basically the use of a IoT, where some sensors, primarily the vibration or current sensors or a temperature sensors, these can be installed on the machine, and this keeps giving us the live health of the individual machine, their performance level. So that also helps us to know whether the machine is working under stress or there are some kind of an wear and tear and happen. And if we can use that, then there can be an automated alerts also if the parameters goes beyond. So using these, then we will get an early warning for the machines where are some kind of an defect or a breakdown can happen in the future. So using these systems can basically reduce the breakdowns.
What are other quick win use cases that manufacturers should consider for digitalization?
So beyond the ERP, MES, the maintenance activity planning or a quality planning, what other solutions I will suggest is basically the use of a video analytic applications for the compliances or for the SOP monitoring. The CCTV cameras, which are currently even used in a manufacturing plants, especially for a security point of view, the same security cameras can also be used for assessing the worker productivity, doing the compliance management, say workers are wearing the PPE kits or not, workers motion analysis can be done using that. We can also do a theft detection if there is a theft any happening or not. So again, this will depend on the kind of an improvements that a manufacturing organization is trying to have. Then accordingly these video analytics systems can be there. And then there are separate applications could be there to manage the inventory could be there. So for example, there could be a QR code, a barcode for material check-in, check-out. When the material gets loaded in a truck, then there could be using the video analytics, we can do the counting of the number of boxes that are getting loaded, correct? So that could be other applications. So I think these are some of the basic one, while there's a scope of many more, but I think especially for the SMEs, these should be the good number of applications to be considered.
How can data be converted into actionable insights for operators, supervisors and management?
So the data when it gets collected, analyzed, basically then has to be presented in a right view also to the different people or a different stakeholder in a manufacturing organization. And this is basically should be role based. For example, for the operator, what they need to know in a during the operation is what is getting produced, what is the level of an efficiency which is there, whether the machine is running at a right speed or not, the right amount of products are getting manufactured. So the real-time visibility, what is happening at a machine, needs to be displayed at a shop floor. So I think that's the level of a dashboard that workers will need. Now when it comes to the supervisor, they should be able to get a line level view, or in fact if we talk about a plant head, they should be able to get a complete plant level view of the production operations which are happening. So when it comes to the capabilities of building the dashboards from the data, I think it has to be based on at what level it needs to be monitored. So accordingly the systems, basically the dashboards should be there. And the access also can be the role based. For example, the access for the management should be of something which summarizes the data at a management level. But when it comes to the operator, then it has to be individual machine level performance data should be displayed.
What level of customization is required in digital solutions for SMEs?
So SMEs, basically considering the level of a digital literacy in the workers, they are low. So what first thing that we need to make sure is at a process level, nothing much should change for the SMEs, both leaders and the workers. So idea is basically to make the systems work in a very similar way that their manual processes were working. So I think that is something that we should take care of, and which is where the level of a customization basically becomes little more for the SMEs than it will be for a large manufacturing companies. And the second thing what we need to take care is the solutions which are made or which manufacturers are using. They should be simple enough that even an operator is also able to learn them, use them with ease. It should not be assumed that the solution will get only be used in an office environment where the senior peoples are using the systems. So which is where the level of an customization which is needed to make it easy for a shop floor operator to use the system.
Lastly, what our listeners can expect in next podcast?
Yeah, so today we have covered extensively the different level of an applications that are there. We focused a lot on a manufacturing. We talked about the ERP. We talked about in detail about the MES system that can really digitalize the complete production planning and monitoring. Then we talked about maintenance, quality, and then the various video analytics solution for the compliances. So I think these are a good set of applications for a manufacturers. And in our next episode, we should definitely talk about the overall approach, because the number of solutions basically to be adopted, they are a lot, and there will not be enough budget in an organization just at a upfront. So we need to have some level of an prioritization needs to be done, some level of a roadmap needs to be prepared for the organization. We should not be thinking solution adoption at a short-term level. So, and when we think of a long-term level, proper strategy of a digital has to be there. So I think this is a important point, and which is what we will cover in our next episode. And at the same point, I also encourage comments or questions from our listeners. If you have, if there are still certain things that you would like us to answer, then do share us. You can email us at accelerate@digixlt.com, and we will definitely cover it either through our next episodes, or we will answer it separately. So stay tuned, keep watching the podcast, and have a good success with your digital initiatives.